Hangman. In day 3 of Hangman, we're going to worry about winning or losing the game. So if you're caught up on day 2, yesterday we kept track of what letters were guessed and we printed out the word that has been guessed so far. So today we're going to worry about how to determine if they've won the game and then how to determine if they've lost the game. So let's go down to our code and let's take a look at what happens when they guess a letter correctly. So if they guess a letter correctly, then we added that to the list of letters they guess, and let's check if they won. Okay, so if word guessed, that's going to be a function we're going to write, then the game is over is true. Now, you may be thinking, what's word guessed? It's going to return us either true or false. True if they guessed the word, false if they didn't. So if it's true, we'll set game over equal to true. We could have probably just set game over to word guessed, but we also are going to print out a message. We want to congratulate them for winning. Congratulations. You can put any message you want. This is your game. You won the game, or you guessed the word. You won the game. Okay. Well, we're going to have to define this word guess. We see it in red, so we're going to put our mouse over it, and we're going to go ahead and create that function. Now, just like yesterday, we see that it comes up and it creates it and says pass. Now, just like yesterday, we're going to have to look at every letter in the secret word. So let's start that way. For secret letter and secret word. Now, some people have different variable names. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. Now, what we want to know is if every letter is in the word, then they've guessed the word. The moment we find a letter they haven't guessed yet, we know they haven't guessed the word. So let's check and see if they have not guessed this letter. If secret letter not in letters guessed. Okay? Secret letter is not in letters guessed. Though they haven't guessed this letter yet. Well, that means they haven't guessed the whole word, so we can return false. Okay, now if we get through the whole word and they've guessed every single letter, then they have guessed the word, so we'll return true. Be very careful here. Your most likely mistake is going to be not to put the return true in the right place. Notice it's lined up under the for because we want to do the entire for loop, go through the entire word. If we didn't return in there, well, they must have guessed the letter. We'll return true. Okay, that looks really good. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. We'll run it. And we know the word, so let's guess the word just the way it's spelled. We'll put in C, put in L, put in A, put in P, put in T, we'll put in R. And look at that. It says, congratulations, you guessed the word, and now our program exits. Okay, well, that's good. But we also have to handle the case where they lose. Now, in the regular game of Hangman, what happens is you draw the picture of the man hanging each time they make a wrong guess. In our case, we're going to keep track of the number of wrong guesses, and as soon as they make over a certain number of wrong guesses, we're going to print out that they've lost. So let's go ahead and start by creating a counter of the number of wrong guesses. So our wrong guesses is equal to 0. Of course, they haven't guessed any yet at the beginning of the game, so we're going to set that to 0. Put a blank line in there just for readability. It just makes it a little easier to read. Now, down here, it says the letter's not in the secret word, so that's a wrong guess. So let's increment. Increment means increase. We're going to increment the wrong guesses by 1. So we'll take wrong guesses, we'll do plus equals, that says add to this value, and we're going to add 1 to that value. That's going to keep track of the number of wrong guesses. We could actually print out, you've made wrong guesses, number of wrong guesses. So you've made 3 wrong guesses if we wanted. We're not going to do that now because one of the extension projects later on is going to be using some ASCII art to kind of hint in that they're wrong guesses. So we're going to leave that alone right now. But we do need to check if they've made too many wrong guesses. So if wrong guesses is greater than, and we're going to put in max guesses. Now notice that I've put that all in capitals. And that's because max guesses is what we're going to call, instead of a variable, a constant. It's something that's never going to change. So we're going to put in all capitals to indicate that should never be changed. If wrong guesses is greater than max guesses, then we're going to set the game over variable. Again, the game is over once you make too many wrong guesses. We should also print out, sorry, you did not guess the secret word this time. Okay, so that makes them feel better about having lost. We have max guesses in red. Now, you could put the mouse over here and it would say, hey, try to rename this because I don't know what it is. That would be helpful if you made a typo. We didn't make a typo here. We'll check more actions. There's really nothing here we can use. We're just going to have to manually fix this problem. When we have constants, we typically want to put them at the very top of our file. So we're going to put it up here, max guesses, and we're going to set that equal to 6. If you want to make the game harder, you can make it lower. If you want to make it really easy, make it bigger. So let's go ahead and try running this again. And let's enter a letter. Again, we're trying to test the lose side of it now. So let's just enter the same letter over and over again. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go for 7 wrong guesses. And it says that letter's not in the secret word. Sorry, you did not guess the secret word this time. That is day 3 of our Hangman project. Feel free to go back and review this video and update your code so that it too completes the game of Hangman.